What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome to the newest episode of the Realistic Rebuilds. Day 12, the final day of the 12 rebuilds of Christmas. And I figured this would be a good one for you guys to watch. If you just so happen to be, on YouTube, or maybe your new iPad, your new iPhone, your new computer, your new Mac, and you want to watch something, this is the realistic rebuild of the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the first realistic rebuild I've ever done for my Eagles. And I don't think you're going to be, but by how this team is built, I don't think you guys are going to be, spending too much time away from your family watching this, as there's a legitimate chance we can win it in year one. Look at this numbers here. Okay, first of all, we're going Jai as our starter. And maybe, we're going to have Nick Foles. We're not going to go. We're going to act like, everyone's healthy. That's how we're going to do it. So we got Carson Wentz, 89 overall. What's his depth? I can't believe they still has a normal dev trade. I guess we're just going to go ahead and win the MVP award right away. You got Alshon Jeffrey, you got Nelson Aguilar. Hopefully, I don't know if Madden updates the contracts as soon as they do, but hopefully Alshon does have his money paid. Look at this offensive line. Jason Peters, 92, 82, 85, 89, 91. Myself, starting at right tackle. What does it take for anyone on this Eagles to get a superstar dev trait? Does Jason Peters have it? Normal. Does Zach Ertz have it? Quick. All these quick dev traits. Classic friggin' Cowboys ratings guy. Look at the defense. Patrick Robinson with an astonishing 88 overall. That is absolutely ridiculous. Vinny Curry's up to an 86. We got Brandon Graham. What's Fletcher Cox? He's superstar? There we go. Fletcher Cox got it. What about Brandon Graham? All right, quick. Timmy Jerry get 86. We got Ronald Darby. We got Sidney Jones. We got Jalen Mills, Rasul Douglas. All of our corners are over a 75. We got Malcolm Jenkins, who I've kind of had a little bit of a beef with in real life. He's having his worst season as a Philadelphia Eagle. Somehow still finds a way into the Pro Bowl. But luckily enough, in my opinion, when he starts to regress, one of these two guys will probably make the transition to safety, unless we can't draft one. We got Jordan Hicks with the worst rating on the team. Jordan Hicks should be 84, 85, something like that. But we got Michael Kendricks here with an 87. Nigel Bradham, 82. That's actually kind of low for Bradham as well. So when you're looking at the Eagles in terms of, what position do I need to go all in for? You still said maybe we find a stud corner in free agency. Maybe a free safety to upgrade over Roger McLeod. That's still not even that bad. If we don't want to Jalen Mills is already a 76 strong. Maybe a strong safety to get younger. But then when you look at this, it's like, okay, maybe a third wide receiver. There's not a lot of holes on this team. I don't really know what is going to entail in this rebuild. More so, I think it's going to be a battle with the salary cap. But we're gonna try to win this damn Super Bowl. And this is, hopefully sooner than later. We got a couple more streams of the Philadelphia Eagles Connected Franchise Mode. Hopefully, we can also win the Super Bowl in that, so that we could do a brand new NCAA series. But that is for another video. Today is the realistic rebuild of the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's jump into it. And at season's end, it's no surprise that we got the first round bye, and now we're hosting the Atlanta Falcons in the Battle of the Birds, 12-win Birds. Take a look at our season. Spent all the XP, looking pretty good. First place in the NFC East, as expected. Look at the stats real quick. Carson Wentz, 3,700 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, so good. I mean, I would like to see him, get the similar touchdown trajectory he was on, which was like fringe 40. But that's still a very respectable season, considering we probably ran the ball a lot. And we ran the ball a lot. 1,300, almost 1,400 yards and 9 TDs for Jai. 800 yards, 22 touchdowns from Darren Sproles. I mean, I can't even be mad at that. I mean, it probably would have been better if that's what happened to our RB2 to put it Corey Clement, the rookie, because he would have got a bunch of XP. But, because Darren Sproles went down with injury, I miss Sproles Royce. It's good to see him have a year like that. As far as receiving is concerned, 87 catches. 864 and 4 from Nelson Aguilar, 780 and 7 from Alshon, 650 and 3 from Zach Ertz, 611 and 6 from Torrey Smith. And we didn't even play Aguilar in the slot, which I probably should have modified him to go there too. We saw in the last Dolphins rebuild, doesn't really matter as long as you put your slot guy where the slot guy should go. He'll put up good numbers. We saw that with Jarvis Landry. So maybe we go and get a. When you look at this team, we're gonna need a tackle. We're gonna need maybe a linebacker, and we're gonna need a wide receiver. Those are the 3 positions that we're going to want to play. Look at the offensive line. Look at this. 0 sacks for Kelsey, 0 sacks for Brooks. And then it's very, very rare, regardless of what level your tackle is, to see a tackle give up, one of your tackles give up less than 10. Very rare to see less than 8. We got 4 from Peters, 3 from John. Like, look at that. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Look at the defense. Jordan Hicks led the team with 107 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and 2 interceptions on the year. Oh my God. Brandon Graham, 23 sacks, setting a sack record. 13 for Vinny Curry, 9 for Timmy Jernigan, 6.5 from Fletcher Cox. We got 3 picks for Rodney McLeod, 2 for Hicks, 2 for Darby, 2 for Mills, 2 for Jenkins, 2 for Robinson, and 1 for Michael Kendricks. Quickly looking at the yearly awards, MVP went to Ben Roethlisberger with no Carson Wentz. Coach of the year went to Mike Tomlin. Okay. Throwing shade at our team. Offensive player of the year in the NFC went to Russell Wilson, with Carson Wentz coming in at number 7. Defensive player of the year went to Brandon Graham and his 23 sacks. Not surprised one bit. Offensive rookie of the year went to Mitchell Trubisky. And defensive rookie of the year went to Jared Davis. Man, we're getting slept on here a little bit. And again, there wasn't a whole lot of play time for Sidney Jones or Derek Barnett. That being said, it is time to do the playoffs. So what we're going to do, because it's year 1, is we're just going to play the moments. We'll narrate over it. Hopefully, we can still make a Super Bowl run. But, you've seen with the rebuilds, the last couple ones, this game has not been treating me very nicely. So let's pop into it. All right, let's get it, team. Let's get it, team. Let's see that Wentz wagon go. 7-0. We're at home. We got home field advantage, a turnover in the red zone. Now, I really do feel confident about the Philadelphia Eagles, because when you play the sim like this, usually it's the team that has the better offensive line, the better run game. And the Falcons are definitely no slouch in the run game. But at least when we sim with the Eagles, everyone just, you just think with the sim, I just can't think of not Le'Veon Bell getting 400 yards every single game. So this, we're down. 3rd down alert. We get the equalizer, 24-24 ball game. Very exciting. Just exchanging touchdowns left, right, and center. 31-31. Who is going to tighten up their belt buckles here? Get the field goal. We have Jake Elliott. Please let them walk all the way down the field. And we lose. 1 and done. 1 and done. Who would expect anything different from this sim? I am not right now, with how Madden has been. I do not expect, with how good this team, we're the best team, overall wise, probably top 3. We're probably not going to win the Super Bowl or even do anything in the playoffs until it's the 5th and final year, when we've lost half of our guys because they're so old and we're actually controlling the game ourselves. But that's the nature of the realistic rebuilds. We have to let the sim do its part for the majority as we lose to the Atlanta Falcons 38-34. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I don't know. Like I said, man, I'm glad. I am very glad that this is the last rebuild, because after I upload this, I can literally stop playing Madden for a couple of days. I can go play PUBG, even though the aiming in that game's terrible, or Call of Duty. I mean, there's no good video games right now, but I need a Madden break real bad. So hopefully we can get more positive results. Let's get into the offseason. All right, so free agency, we didn't sign anyone. There was no one worth signing, and we didn't have a whole lot of bucks, but we did lose 2 players to retirement. We lost Jason Peters and we lost Donnie Jones. So to try to recoup everything, first up, we went at the wide receiver spot in the 1st round. We got a 77 overall wide receiver, normal dev trait. Oddly enough, he was from Clemson, so I thought it was easy just to make it Deion Kane, one of the top wide receivers in this upcoming draft class. More so, we got the speed. I don't necessarily know if Deion Kane's going to have that 95 speed, but it's enough speed that we can put him on the outside with Alshon Jeffrey and move Nelson Aguilar purely into the slot, which might seem a little bit better production for Carson Wentz when all is said and done. We got a 73 tackle here in the 3rd round because we don't have a 2nd round pick, which was annoying. But there we go. We actually hit on another left tackle here in the 4th round. He's a 78 normal dev, which we made Casey McDermott from the University of Miami. He's a very versatile offensive lineman, can play guard, can play tackle. We decided to make him tackle, plus at 6'7". It makes sense for him to try to be the guy that can replace Jason Peters. We're not going down the big V Hal Vitae road, because we did that in our Eagles franchise mode, and it was an utter failure. Then we got a 71 defensive end, a 73 center, and then the pick of the draft, already hit with a confidence downgrade, but an 80 overall guard, normal dev trait in the 5th round, which we made KJ Malone from LSU, the last real prospect that we're using from this year's draft class. Not exactly sure where he's going to fit in. Maybe we could slide him here to left guard if Steven Wisniewski starts to downgrade or something like that. But it's just a really good depth to have at the offensive line position. We got a 73 punter, Justin Darius, to take over for Donnie Longball. Then we just failed on a, not a perfect draft class, I guess to say. We went all above 70s with Richard Erickson. What an ass. But overall, really, really solid draft class for the Philadelphia Eagles as we get ready to try to repeat our performance from year number 1 and get back into the playoffs. A quick look at our roster for year number 2. Seeing lots of positives. We spent all of our XP to get Carson Wentz, that superstar dev trade. I think he only went up +1 or +2 to his base overall. It was, you know, we probably could have got him to 93, 94 if we just decided not to go for the XP boost towards the upgrade. But I figured it'd be better long run. Jai's up to an 89. We got Aguilar now in the slot with Deon Cain starting out wide. Offensive line is still holding up. It's going to be interesting to see what McDermott can do at left tackle. And on the defensive side of the ball, I'm deciding, make an executive decision, to bump Vinny Curry to number 2 and give Derek Barnett the starting opportunity just because, you know, thinking long term, if we can get Barnett started to develop into the 80s, that would be fire. You know, debating Jalen Mills going strong safety over Malcolm Jenkins, but I feel for the time being, we're still looking all right there. Hicks got a +2 from a 79 up to an 81. McLeod actually went up 1 as well after he led the team in interceptions. But, yeah, man, you know, not a lot of turnover. We're ready to do the damn thing. Hopefully, another NFC East title. All right, so we are at free agency time, and it is going to be tight, a little tight one. We don't have a whole lot of money. But I would say, look at that, Brandon Graham, Jai need to be guarantees that we need to bring back. Brandon Graham straight up breaking the sack record every sim. In terms of Patrick Robinson and Ronald Darby, we have to kind of pick and choose. So we're going to be going with Darby over Robinson because of the massive age difference. At the wide receiver spot, we have Nelson Aguilar. And this is something, obviously, we're going to bring back Nelson Aguilar if we can. But this is something like I want to think about real life. Is Nelson Aguilar going to give like Philly maybe a hometown discount because we stuck through him during the bust years, during the years he had bricks for hands? Or is he going to, you know, take the money and run? I don't, you know, that's, in real life, that is. I don't know, man. That's an interesting thing to think about. Hicks will be back. And outside of that, I expect us barely to have any money left. But, you know, who needs money when your team is sick like what we got here? All right, here we are at the end of year number 2. And once again, going up against the Falcons in the playoffs, hosting them again. So time for a little bit of a revenge game. But a first round bye nonetheless. Back-to-back NFC East titles, making it 2 for 2. But, I mean, NFC East titles is nice. But it's not a Super Bowl championship. Look at how Carson Wentz did on the season. 4,000 passing yards, 30 TDs, 15 interceptions. So that's an acceptable season, I would say. I wouldn't want to see it get much lower than that. But again, we are a dominant running team. So look at this. Like, you got to find that balance. Jai almost 1,500 yards, 13 TDs, 600 yards, 17 touchdowns from Clement. He's a freak, man. Just imagine we had Corey Clement as our RB2 instead of Sproles last year. That means through 2 seasons, Corey Clement would have 40 touchdowns. Almost 40 touchdowns. As far as receiving is concerned, we got 84 catches, 900 yards, and 6 touchdowns for our first round rookie Deon Cain. 800 yards, 10 TDs from Zach Ertz, 701 from Alshon. That's not a hot season. 781 and 7 from Nelson Aguilar. Lane Johnson straight up didn't give up a sack. It is incredibly rare. Those of you that have played enough franchise sims or have watched enough of my videos know my tackles always get, you know, even great tackles, like I said, get like 8 to 9 to 10 for both of them. 0 for a right tackle is absolutely insane. Even giving up 8 for a rookie left tackle, man, that is still really good. Seems like more often than not when we put a first round draft pick or just any rookie in that tackle, they're giving up 15 plus. So the whole, I gotta figure out the thing. Like, what is the je ne sais quoi of this offensive line and why they perform at the level that they do? We got 110 tackles from Michael Kendricks, 100 from Jordan Hicks. On the sacks front, Brandon Graham, half a sack shy of his record that he set last year with 22.5. We were very happy to re-sign him. 7.5 Derek Barnett, 7 from Tinney Jernigan, 4 from Fletcher Cox. We got 4 picks from Jordan Hicks, 3 from Kendricks, 3 from Darby, 3 from Robinson, 2 from Mills, and 1 and 1 here for our safeties. Taking a quick look at the yearly awards, MVP went to Russell Wilson. We had no one there. Coach of the year, still, man, no love to Doug Peterson. No love to really any Philadelphia Eagle here. Offensive player of the year went to Russell Wilson, with Jai coming in at number 6. Defensive player of the year went to Aaron Donald, with Brandon Graham coming in at number 4, and Michael Kendricks coming in at number 8. Offensive rookie of the year, Deon Cain was a runner-up at number 2, and for defensive rookie of the year, whole lot of nothing. But either way, we are in the playoffs. We are getting a revenge game in the Battle of the Birds. Let's get it. All right, revenge game in the snow. We are 2 points worse overall than what we were a year ago. I don't know what that is going to entail, but yeah, high-scoring game, 14-7 right now. Both teams going back and forth. Philly goes down to equalize. Our defense is not doing anything right now. 2-minute drill to get some points. Of course, nothing can happen from any of these attempts, and they actually get the ball back to score a touchdown. Awesome. Oh, look at that. Just another touchdown before the end of the first half. As I stated at the end of the last sim, it's not gonna. We'll probably win the NFC 4 years in a row, and be one and done in the playoffs, or just not have any chance of winning the Super Bowl. As it's very evident right now. Buckle up. We're going to full 5 years. I can tell here, fellas. So in year 2, after winning the NFC East, we are one and done to Atlanta Falcons once again. 179 yards, 2 touchdowns from our 92 overall superstar quarterback Carson Wentz. Okay, next year. Can't wait to do the exact same thing next season. Let's do it. Alright, we need to make some changes. We got to get better in the secondary. So it is time for Malcolm Jenkins' time as a Philadelphia Eagle to conclude. And we're going to move in Jalen Mills back there to the safety spot, which does free up the dream secondary of Ronald Darby and Sidney Jones. So here's our year 2 draft class. Incredibly top heavy, but in the first round, potentially a starter, might be able to bump Rodney McLeod. We had a quick free safety, which we made Taylor Rapp from Washington, one of the top safeties in next year's draft class. This kid's an absolute stud, and definitely, you know, like I said, can vie for that starting position. Second round, we got a 75 overall center with normal dev trait, just continuing to add, you know, kind of throw things at the wall to see what happens for Jason Kelsey's eventual replacement. And then in the third round, we don't really need a wide receiver, but, you know, Alshon is not really performing, and he's about at that age where he starts to regress. So Deion Kane and Nelson Aguilar aren't enough. So we got a 79 quick wide receiver, which we made Darius Slayton from Auburn, a guy that, if you can put together another good season with Jarrett Stidham there at Auburn, he could very well become, you know, a top 10 wide receiver type candidate. So we decided to add him, and then we get a couple 60s. In the middle of the draft. Wasn't a really weak draft class, to be honest. Like, literally everyone that was projected to go after rounds like 4, everything was red. And yeah, we're lucky to get out with the prospects that we did. Now it's time for year number 3, and hopefully a little bit better than a divisional round loss to the Falcons for the 3rd straight time. So as we begin year number 3, Wentz is now up to a juicy 94 overall. Wide receivers are up, except Alshon Jeffrey's regressed 1 point, but still as a group, the strongest it has been. Ertz is a 94 offensive line. KJ Malone will now start in place of Wisniewski. McDermott's up to an 83. This offensive line is looking real solid, but I mean, they are going to start to regress. The second defensive front 4 stays the same. Secondary is now Darby and Sidney Jones. Jalen Mills takes over at strong safety with Taylor Rapp starting out at free safety. So an experienced secondary. Not the hottest secondary we've had, but what we were using before was not getting us the results we wanted. So if we have to go, maybe take a step back 1 year to get those guys up to par for year 4. That is what we need to do. But I fully expect us to be competitive once again in the NFC East. Anytime you still have Carson Wentz, you have a dog in the fight. So just as soon as we have cap space, it is time to talk about Carson Wentz. $138 million is what he wants. We're going to have to pay him. Can we even fit that in our budget? We still have $30 million of cap space if we can get him to sign relatively in that ballpark, which is decent, which still gives us money to sign Brandon Brooks, Kendricks, Clement. I mean, we actually might be able to sign like up till Jake Elliott, which is good. Wiz will probably have to, $18 million. We'll probably have to go somewhere else because I do. Basically, when I look at the draft class, it's either Corey Clement or Wisniewski, one of the two, and I think having Clement as our 1-2 punch in the backfield is a little bit more beneficial, as we have really established ourselves as a run-first team here as far as the sim. But Carson Wentz, 130, he probably won't take that. He'll probably take 140. Oof, that's a lot of bucks. Hopefully invest in Bitcoin or something. Now here we are at season's end, and once again, 3 straight playoff berths, 12-4. However, we are in the wild card. So it's the first time we haven't got a first round bye. Maybe if Madden realizes we're taking the long road, it'll actually hook us up a little bit. Looking at the season, look, another 3 straight NFC East titles utter dominance, but we've been one and done in the playoffs every single year. 4,000 passing yards, 25 TDs, 11 picks for a $138 million quarterback. Not so hot. I mean, I'm going to have to see the rushing numbers, but that is not exactly what it... Okay, there you go. Again, man, when you're getting close to 30 rushing touchdowns every year, it's going to be tough for your quarterback to throw for more than 30, so I'm not really holding that against Wentz. It's more so just how Doug Peterson's offense gets simmed. But our running backs are playing really, really well. 1,400 yards, 15 TDs from Ajayi. We got 11 touchdowns and 600 yards from Clement. We were able to re-sign. Good balance. As far as receiving is concerned, 91 catches, 700 yards, and 3 TDs for Deion Kane. 1,005 for Alshon, so finally a big year from him. 806 from Zach Ertz, 905 from Nelly Aguilar. So those are all acceptable numbers considering the style of our offense. We got 113 tackles from Jordan Hicks, 111 from Michael Kendricks. We got 16 sacks from Brandon Graham, 14.5 from Derek Barnett, 8 from Fletcher Cox. And in the secondary, 3 picks, Jalen Mills, 2 from Kendricks, 2 from Hicks, and a couple ones. So still not really getting the production out of Darby and Sidney Jones that we would like to see. But anytime you're 12-4, you know, you're gonna be nitpicking. So MVP went to Aaron Rodgers. We had no one. NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Aaron Rodgers. We had Jai coming in number 10. Defensive Player of the Year went to Aaron Donald with Brandon Graham coming in at number 5. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no one. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Taylor Rapp coming in at number 8. So this is a team effort. It's very much like the Philadelphia Eagles in real life, where their success, as the game always freezes when I check that in year 3. I mean, oh, this Madden is so bad, people. It's so bad. But I'm going to have to go restart the game. And when we come back, hopefully, we cannot be one and done the playoffs as we get ready for another battle of the birds against the Seattle Seahawks. All right, here it is, our 3rd straight playoff game. Hope to God we don't get bumped in the first round again. Looking like a battle. I mean, anytime you play the Seahawks, it is really tough. Luckily, we're still in the sim, so I don't have to actually face the Seahawks myself because I usually have some of my worst ball games against the Seattle Seahawks. As we're trading field goals here, 6-3. Oh, red zone alert. Oh, another field goal. 9-3 ball game here in Seattle. And then just like that, Seahawks get the touchdown. They get the momentum shift. We get a touchdown to go up 16-13. Lots going on here. Long stretches of possession. Not a whole lot of points, though. And we get the touchdown. We miss the 2-point conversion. Which, I mean, we got a tied 23 ball game here. Oh, great. Yeah, we're not looking so hot. And we turn the ball over. And we are one and done for the 3rd straight year. I hope you guys' Christmases have been better than what we're getting here in this gameplay. As I stated from the beginning of year 1, we're probably not going to win a playoff game until year 5. That's just the stretch of these 12 rebuilds has drawn my patience with this game razor thin right now. I mean, we have like a 90, I think our team's 93 overall team. And we just keep getting bounced. I don't know what it is. We're going to keep on fighting, though. Carson Wentz, 191 yards, a touchdown. Jai at 124 yards. I think he's up to a 94 overall. And Carson Wentz is a 94 as well. So that is definitely like a key recipe. Plus having multiple 90s in the offensive line. That's a really good recipe to just continually losing the opening playoff game. So, yeah, let's go into the year 3 to 4 offseason. Here's a quick recap of a draft that we did. Very good draft. First round, we got an 80 overall. Normal depth trait, defensive end, you know, just in case somehow, some way, Brandon Graham surprisingly retires. We have some depth there. Parker Simpson from UCLA. The second round, we got a 79 overall tight end with a slow depth trait, but more so just, you know, speedy vertical threat type. That will be depth behind Zach Ertz. We got a 74 here, defensive end with a quick dev. I don't know, just because. We got a, you know what? Because I'm sick and tired of Jordan Hicks has an 84, but because for some reason your middle linebacker grade takes the first and second one, I just said, screw it, let's go middle linebacker. So we get a 78 quick Khalil Hall from Clemson. So I will take that. We got a 74 center here that I think we're going to slide to right guard because we need depth. The last 2 picks were just, you know, trash, but look at that. 3 fringe 80, if not 80 plus. I will take it. We've done everything right in this rebuild, and we have actually, you know, like, I want to double check it. I'll see, maybe I'll get a screenshot of it at some point. But when I was exiting the playoff game, I wasn't recording anything like that. It gives you like the circles, like it gives your circle for your overall, circle for your offensive overall and your defense. So we have a 99 offense and a 90 defense, and we have yet to win a playoff game. Madden. Let's see if we can change it here in year 4. So as we begin year number 4, everyone is positive. This is the craziest thing. This Slayton guy. Okay, we're gonna make Kane outside. First, I must be a glitch. I know I've got mentioned to it on Twitter a couple times. Sometimes my wide receiver 4 or 5 will randomly have like 30,000 XP at the end of the season. Like I remember year 1, Shelton Gibson had 33,000. I was like, okay, that's weird. I don't know why. The exact same thing happened with Darius Slayton. I will take it. But, you know, it's perfect timing. Kane and Slayton are getting good. Aguilar's consistent just as Alshon Jeffrey starts to slow down. On the offensive line, Kelsey has finally dipped below an 80. Ertz, Johnson, and Brandon Brooks all took a 1-point hit, but they're still all in the A grades. On the defensive side of things, everything stays pretty much the same. Sidney Jones up to an 80 overall. Hicks is actually up +2, I believe. So this is a very capable defense that's, you know, like I said, this whole rebuild is going to be a very good team trying to manage with like the small 1 or 2 point downgrade season per season for the older players. But I think when you have a 95, 94, almost 99 overall offense, you should be able to win a playoff game. But hey, you know, before you can run, you got to walk. That being said, we got to be able to win the NFC East once again before we can have an opportunity to finally win a playoff game. So it's contract time, and we have just enough cash that we can sign our 3 targets. We might lose out on 1. If Lane Johnson has to come back, Zach Ertz has to come back, and then it's kind of a toss-up here. You know, we don't really have Jason Kelsey's replacement yet, but we don't have the cash to get him, and we might be able to squeeze in both Barnett and Sidney Jones, our 2 young, good prospects on the defensive side of the ball. But you know, priority number 1 is getting Lane and Ertz. I'm gonna say there's like an 85% chance we could get all 4. But I have a feeling that maybe Barnett might say, oh, I want to go test it out on free agency. All right, so here we are at the end of year number 4. First round bye. We're 12-4. I don't know if that's outright. Yeah, once again, 4 straight NFC East titles. Still looking for that first playoff win. Taking a look at the final stats on the season. 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 14 picks for Carson Wentz. Again, I would assume that look at that, man, this rushing attack, 1,400 yards, 11 TDs for Ajay, 818 for Clement. It doesn't really make any sense. You know, if we had Carson Wentz as our quarterback, we'd be throwing it more, but for whatever reason, the sim likes to play that way. Kane had 80 catches, 866 and 9, 806 for Alshon, 745 and 7 from Darius Slayton, 575 and 4 for Mr. Zach Ertz. And on the defensive side, 107 tackles from Jordan Hicks. We got 13 sacks from Brandon Graham, 10 from Derek Barnett, 7.5 from Timmy Jernigan, and 7 from Fletcher Cox's defensive line was eating. 6 picks from Ronald Darby, 4 from Taylor Rapp, 3 from Jalen Mills, 2 from Razul Douglas, and a couple single picks there. So that's very, very good production from our secondary. Finally, Ronald Darby has a breakout season, if you will, for the Philadelphia Eagles. Looking at the yearly awards, MVP went to this guy, created player. Nothing for us. Coach of the year went to Doug Pearson. Hey, we got Coach of the Year. He's a 17 overall. I don't know what that means. Look at the offensive player of the year in the hole. Went to Alvin Kamara with no. Oof. Phillip Rivers is hosting the Vikings. That's interesting. With no Eagles to make it there. Defensive player of the year went to Levante David. We had no one on the short list. Offensive rookie of the year, our backup tight end came in at number 5. And for defensive rookie of the year, we had no one. Okay, time for the playoffs. Time for a big-time game against the Minnesota Vikings. Hopefully, can we win a playoff game? Question mark. All right, here we go. Searching for our first playoff win. We're hosting the Minnesota Vikings, and they get a field goal off the opening drive. We are now driving in. We have to settle for a field goal. How did I know that ahead of time? This is right now the best team I think I've had in a rebuild. I think it's a 94 overall team right now, and we're still trying to search for our first playoff win. Oh, the irony. 17-10 for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's looking good here. We're getting some solid momentum here. 20-10 right now for the Eagles. 27-10. They are sick and tired of being one and done 3 straight years. But the Minnesota Vikings are trying their best to stay in it. The Eagles go for it on 4th down. They find a way to convert to make it a 34-17 ball game. The Vikings are still trying their best, but just like that, finally, the Philadelphia Eagles get their first playoff win. Carson Wentz does not throw a touchdown. I assume he did it by running the ball. We got 3 touchdowns from Corey Clement. And a touchdown here from Jai, who's a 98 overall with a +1 to make him a perfect 99. As we finally get our first victory. Now I'm nervous. Because we got our first victory. Optimism is high. But, you know, we're probably going to get absolutely spanked in the NFC Championship. But you never know. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so in the championship, we always find a way to play the Saints. The Saints are like the worst matchup for the Philadelphia Eagles almost every year. And we find a way to play the Saints to go to the Super Bowl. But hey, it wouldn't have it anyway. If we're going to get it done, it's going to happen the hard way, as literally our offense has done absolutely... Our 99 overall offense hasn't done a whole lot. But hey, 7-3 ball game. I'm liking the looks of this. We're putting points up on the board. We got a touchdown lead. We're moving the ball fairly well. As it's now 17-3 for the good guys. What? Are we all just boiling it down to the year 4? Is this going to be the year? 24-3, going up against Offensive Player of the Year, Alvin Kamara. Oh, we might have spoke too soon. 2 minutes left. The Saints are trying a miracle, but it looks like the Philadelphia Eagles are rolling, and we do. 24-17. The Eagles finally have made their playoff berth. This Vetling guy, not good. Wentz did the job running the ball. That's what happened. 123 yards from Ajay. We got a touchdown here from Corey Clement. Kamara had a good game for sure. But hey, Super Bowl is Super Bowl, and we're gonna be playing. I'm gonna be getting in. I'm not messing around. This is, you know, this is our window right now. So we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Looks like we're playing the Houston Texans. Of course, my Madden 17 arch nemesis, the team I always played bad against in Madden 17 was the Texans. Haven't played them a whole lot this year. Hopefully, it's you know, it's a new year, new me, and we can do the damn thing against the Houston Texans. Let's pop into the Super Bowl and get the Eagles that championship this city, this fan base deserves. All right, here we go. Opening drive. Well, not opening drive, but opening looking like a touchdown drive. Oh, Jai, he's a bad man. We're using the Kelly Greens because why not? You know, pay homage to those previous Eagles teams in the 90s with Randall Cunningham that should have went to the Super Bowl but could not. This is for them. Plus, you know, Kelly Green. These jerseys are 10 times better than the jerseys we have right now. So, let's see what we can do. Kick Corey Clement. There we go. Doing what he does best, and that is vulturing touchdowns away from Jai. Puts the Eagles up 10-0 over the Houston Texans here in the Super Bowl. All right, here we go. Just creeping in the red zone, trying to take the massive lead here. See if we can hit Ertz on the slant. We'll just take off Mr. Carson. Mr. Carson! Hey, hit, ref! You're right there. That's a 40th yard rushing for Carson Wentz on the day. We're being a little scramble there. I mean, he's a veteran now. He's a wily vet. But at 1st and goal on the 3, we're trying to throw it just to get some more out of the passing attack here. Because we already know we could run it in if we wanted to. So let's just hit Alshon Jeffrey. Wentz to Jeffrey. One of the most prolific 1-2 combination. QB wide receiver combination in Eagles history by this point. As we go up 17-3. Getting Eagles fans getting ready to go in the victory formation. 27-13. Like this here is pretty much like a Super Bowl scenario at this point in time. Assuming Deshaun Watson goes on like the career trajectory that it looks like he is, and Carson Wentz goes on the career trajectory that he is. These are going to be 2 of the top teams in their respective conferences. But finally, it only took 3 straight years of being one and done while being maybe the best team in the NFL to finally win a Super Bowl. But it doesn't matter how many times, how many swings, how many cracks at it you do. Just one is all you need, baby. And we are bringing it home. And AT&T Stadium. What a better place to win the Super Bowl than in Dallas's own field. Rubbing it in. The Kelly Green unis. You know, Doug Peterson didn't feel like, you know, dressing up today a little bit. Sean Watson looks unhappy. But, I mean, personally, like if I had to say and pick my second favorite quarterback in the NFL after Carson Wentz, it'd probably be a toss-up between Ben Roethlisberger and Deshaun Watson. So that is a good thing. IRL, you know, I've never really hated the Texans. Those red Texans jerseys when I was first starting to play football video games, we're using my favorites. But, you know, Texas is going to be fine. You guys are going to be fine. Deshaun Watson looks like a stud. But that's neither here nor there, as the Eagles are finally Super Bowl champions on a team that might be the best team we have ever rebuilt. 99 offense, 95 defense. And this is definitely a deserved Super Bowl as Jay Ajayi gets the Super Bowl MVP award. And that is going to wrap up the 12 rebuilds of Christmas. I hope everyone watching this is having a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever. Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and I don't know what other ones there are. Ramadan, little ding dong. I don't know, is that actually Ramadan or Christmas one? I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the 12 rebuilds of Christmas. If you've enjoyed this and you haven't subscribed yet, why not? Share the love, share the video. I'm trying to grow as much. You know, that's what Papa C4 wants. Papa C4 wants 50,000 subscribers sooner than later. Get sick and tired of being at that 46, 47 range. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champions. It's hype. Thank you for watching. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.